Have you ever used an app and just thought, wow, this feels different? More alive? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on how to build those kinds of captivating modern applications. We'll dig into how RAD Studio and Delphi are giving developers the tools to create experiences that aren't just functional, but are actually dynamic and honestly just fun to use.
Right? I mean, think about it. You open one app and it works, it's fine. But then you open another and it's just a whole other world. Everything's fluid, it's responsive. It almost feels like it knows what you're going to do next. So, what's the secret sauce here? What's that magic ingredient that really makes an app come to life? Well, the secret is a dynamic user interface. And listen, this isn't just about adding flashy animations for the sake of it. A really good dynamic UI can completely transform an application. It can guide the user's attention, make things more accessible, and just create a better overall experience. And the best part? You can do all this without killing your performance or writing mountains of code.
Okay, so here's the plan. First, we're going to look at the FireMonkey visual engine. That's the wow. Then we'll get into the how, which is all about what RAD Studio brings to the table. After that, we'll talk connectivity, because every app needs to talk to the outside world. And finally, we'll put it all together. All right, let's jump right in with that wow factor. This all starts with the FireMonkey framework. It's the powerful visual engine that's really at the heart of any modern Delphi application. So what are the actual building blocks of a dynamic UI? Well, it really just comes down to three key pillars. You've got animations, which bring movement to your elements. You've got effects, which add that visual flair, GPU-accelerated filters and stuff. And then you have transitions, which create those smooth, elegant changes between different states. It's how these three play together that creates that feeling of a living application. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Interpolation. If animation is the what, interpolation is the how. It's literally the personality of the movement. Does your button just slide in, or does it kind of bounce into place? Does a window fade in gently, or does it snap into view? This is where you get to inject some real character into your UI. And you have this whole palette of motion to work with. So forget just boring, linear movements from point A to point B. You can create animations that ease in, that bounce, or even have this cool elastic feel. Each one of these gives your UI a completely different personality, and that makes for a way more engaging experience for your user. And you get really precise control over when this personality gets applied. You can choose to have the effect happen at the beginning of the motion, at the end, or both. This is how you create those super professional-looking slow in, slow out effects that just give your animations a real polish. So we've seen the wow, but what about the how? That's where RAD Studio comes in. Because let's face it, a great user experience really starts with a great developer experience. So let's see how RAD Studio empowers you to build all this stuff with ease and, a bit of comfort. And this is a perfect example of that focus on developer comfort. The entire IDE has gotten these refreshed dark and light themes. And this isn't just a simple color swap. They've really designed the palettes with these cool bluish tones specifically to reduce eye strain. It just makes those long coding sessions so much more comfortable. But the modernization goes way deeper than just the themes. Key parts of the entire developer workflow have been rethought from the ground up to be cleaner, clearer, and just way more efficient. Let me show you a couple of examples. Take the Get It package manager. This thing is your one-stop shop for thousands of components, and it has been completely redesigned. Now finding and installing the tools you need to expand your app is just faster and easier than it's ever been. Even starting a new project or adding a new form, that's been improved. The new items dialog is now way cleaner and better organized. It just gives you a much clearer starting point, whether you're building a huge multi-device application or just a simple library. And even the compilation dialog has been thoughtfully redesigned. That old wall of text is gone, and instead you get this clean summary with clear icons and counts for your hints, warnings, and errors. It's a small thing, but it's a huge improvement that really streamlines your daily workflow. The improvements aren't just cosmetic either. The Object Pascal language in Delphi has also been evolving, adding modern features that let you write code that's cleaner, more concise, and a lot easier to read. Things like inline variable declarations and type inference, I know they might sound a bit technical, but their impact is super simple. They let you write less code. You can declare variables right where you use them, and the compiler can even figure out the type for you. It just means less boilerplate and more time focusing on your app's actual logic. But A modern application is so much more than just a pretty UI. It has to be connected. It needs to talk to services, access data, and be part of this whole larger ecosystem. So let's explore how RAD Studio helps you build apps that are not only beautiful, but also smart and connected.
And today, the universal language for that connectivity is REST. It's this powerful, flexible style that's become the absolute standard for building scalable applications. From web services to mobile backends, REST is basically the glue that holds the modern digital world together. And RAD Studio gives you an incredibly powerful tool for this with RAD Server. It's been beefed up with huge performance and memory management improvements, and now with new attributes, you can map URLs to your code in a much cleaner, more declarative way. It just makes building robust REST APIs that much easier. Okay, so let's bring all these pieces together. We've talked about the visual front end, the developer experience, and the back-end connectivity. So what does this complete toolkit actually look like? So here it is, your modern app toolkit. With RAD Studio and Delphi, you've got everything you need. You've got FireMonkey for those breathtaking visuals, a modernized IDE for a seamless workflow, an evolved language for elegant, powerful code, and of course, RAD Server for rock-solid scalable connectivity. It is a complete end-to-end solution for building the next generation of applications. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? The tools have evolved, the platforms have evolved, user expectations have definitely evolved. So the question is, has your UI? With RAD Studio and Delphi, you have all the power you need to create applications that aren't just functional, but are truly alive. The only limit, really, is your imagination.